Okay, so it's me again, and I would like to tell you about the translation process of Collabora Online. So it's pretty much obvious why we translate software user interface, because we have users from all over the world, and users usually expect to use software in their native language. So that's why we translate it for them, or it's not. Actually, it's not we, it's the community, both our Collabora online community and the LibreOffice community. So I'd like to thank them all. So as we know, Collabora Online is based on the LibreOffice technology, and we share a lot of the user interface too. We have similar menus, similar dialogues, toolbars, and so on. So it would have been a big mistake to rewrite everything from scratch and retranslate everything from scratch. So we take existing LibreOffice translations. Either we take them directly from the core, so the core sends the localized strings to the online JavaScript, or we take the strings indirectly. So for example, there are a lot of strings that actually never change, such as the name of predefined styles like heading 1, heading 2, and so on, numbering, and or language names, or some status bar messages. So these were collected and are used on the online user interface. And also we have the menu items or notebook bar, button, labels. These are actually UNO command names, and we have the translations in the core, so we just extract them from the core and use them from the JavaScript. So there is, of course, a little disadvantage of this, that it's outside of our control. So the translation of LibreOffice is done on the TDF Weblate instance, translations document foundation.org. So we rely on them or on the LibreOffice community to, and of course, well, actually anybody can contribute there as well, but it is not managed by us. So when we do some feature development, and we usually commit it to the latest release branch and LibreOffice master, but we backport it to stable branches occasionally, and if they contain translations, we wouldn't find them in LibreOffice core in the corresponding release branch. So we have to backport. We do this manually from time to time using Bash and Translate Toolkit or GNU getText utilities. And for the online part, there is not much left. So we have a minimal set of user interface strings to translate. So if you compare it to the LibreOffice core, it is very, very much less. So it can be translated in a day, actually. And we also have a small built-in help file in Collabora Online, which gives a general overview. And we have a keyboard shortcuts help file, which is kind of repetitive, so easy to translate. So it's another part that we have to maintain. The online help that we have on the help.collaboraoffice.com site is also coming from LibreOffice. So we maintain this hosted Weblate instance of Collabora Online, where we translate the aforementioned few online specific strings and the help. And it's open to all. We allow everybody to contribute. They can log in with OpenID, and editing is not restricted anyway, so we accept everything. So far it worked well for us, so we lowered the entry barrier, but we didn't got any sign of vandalism or some hostile activity. And we also give the translators the proper credit as Git commit authors. So we have a whole list of contributors. I will show it on the next slide. So this Weblate instance is integrated with GitHub, and we also give screenshots and descriptions to give context. The result is a pretty good coverage for about 30 languages, which is mostly the European languages. By pretty good translation, I mean above 95%. Of course, it's hard to know what is translated from, what is the translation percentage that is coming from core, because the core translation percentage doesn't mean much if it's not 100%, because we don't know what exactly is coming through. But sometimes we get reports from users. They find untranslated strings, and then we can take actions. So last slide, thanks to all of the translators. It's a huge list, a huge community who contributed to Collabora Online. Thank you.